Thank you for joining us this evening. Please note that all attendees during the main portion of the program will be muted. We will all be monitoring the videos. If we feel it necessary, we may turn off your camera. If you have a question for our speakers or professionals during the program, please send it in the chat. We will get to as many of your questions as we can. Should you have any technical difficulties during the event, rest assured there will be a recording. For optimal viewing, please make sure you're in speaker view, not gallery view, which can be found in the top right corner of your screen. If you're interested in learning more about Jewish National Fund, please reach out to any one of our JNF professionals. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Hannah Ratain, and I'm on the Chicago JNFuture board, and I am an Eric Society donor. I've been involved with JNFuture for over 5 years, and I'm so proud to support the incredible work that JNF is doing with like-minded professionals. For those of you who do not know, JNFuture is the young philanthropist community in the Jewish National Fund, a place to meet like-minded, passionate Zionists who want to invest in the future of Israel. JNF is at the forefront of this work, partnering with institutions here in the US as well as in Israel, which you'll hear about in a moment. It's donors like you and I who get to have an impact in this work, as well as all that JNF does to develop the land and people of Israel. If you haven't made your annual gift to JNF this year, I ask that you support me in this incredible work and make your gift today. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you to Melissa Azarech. Melissa spent her years honing her skincare knowledge on the corporate training team for Lush Cosmetics and became one of the top senior skincare advisors for Sephora. I am definitely going to need her help today. I was in a mask all day at work. She piloted the skincare services program for the brand, creating the multi-step skincare routines and training material used nationwide. Melissa is now the Associate Director for JNF Mountain States. Take it away, Melissa.
Hi. So I'm Melissa Asarch. I'm the Associate Director for Mountain States right now, but in a couple weeks, I will be taking over from the amazing Steph Altman as the National JNFuture Director. So I'm so excited to be here with all of you tonight. We're going to be making 2 products together. I have a special helper. He's hiding behind the camera who's going to help me with my products. So the star of the show today is honey. And I picked honey as the main ingredient in both products for 2 reasons. One is that it's very prevalent in Israel, especially in the South. They make a lot of their own honey and sell it as an incredible skincare product, but also because of what honey does. Honey is naturally antibacterial, naturally antiseptic. It's very soothing, so it's like great if you have raw or manuka honey to put on a cut. If you have acne, it helps to heal it, and it's super hydrating, but obviously not oily. Also, because honey crystallizes, it can be exfoliating as well. So it's really like a superstar in the skincare world. So the first product that we're going to make is a scrub. The scrub uses sugar. And you can do brown or white, whichever you prefer. I happen to have white here, so that's what I'm doing. If you have very sensitive skin, I'm going to recommend that you skip the sugar and use salt, because salt is finer and won't agitate the pores as much. If you have normal, dry, whatever, even oily skin, stick with the sugar because it's going to be a deeper exfoliation. So you need half a cup of sugar, a couple tablespoons of honey, and we're going to combine that together first. I put my honey in the microwave for a couple seconds so it'd be easy to stir, but you don't have to. And then you just put them in together, and then we're going to stir. And it's going to create like a paste. The next thing that we're going to add is oil. There are a lot of different oils you can go with. I have super dry skin, and so I'm going with virgin coconut oil. If your pores get clogged easily, I'm going to recommend olive oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, any other oil really except for coconut oil, because it is not non-comedogenic. It can clog pores. So like, you know, if you like to put something moisturizing on after you shave, coconut oil is definitely not one you want to do, because the pores are open and then it could clog them and it can cause either like a blackhead or an ingrown hair or acne or whatever. But if you have super dry skin or not concerned about that, coconut oil is so great. If you have a hair tie or anything, I'm going to recommend tying your hair back or putting on a headband, especially if you're going to put it on your face right now. Okay. So now the honey and the sugar has been sitting together and really like becoming a paste. And we're going to add the oil. You can melt it if you want it to be a really liquidy consistency or not. And then it should look like that, like a paste.
Ew.
So once you have it all set up, just take it with your hands. I would put a little water on your face first. And then smush it between your fingers, get it a little warm, and just scrub. You want to go in circles so that you're not tugging up and down on your skin. Anytime you put anything on your skin, you're either patting, if it's like a moisturizing product, or if it's a cleanser and exfoliator, you're going in circles. Circles for lymphatic drainage, circles so you're not tearing, and circles so that you make sure you get every little bit of your skin. Go around the nose, lip, chin, cheeks, and forehead. Does anybody have any questions before I turn it over to Rachel? I'm going to take that as a no, but feel free to add your questions in the chat if you do. And I'm going to hand it over to Rachel Herman from LA. Rachel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Herman. I am the JNFuture WFI chair on the LA board. So Jewish National Fund is committed to bringing 300,000 people in northern Israel. So part of that commitment includes growing the economy in the cosmetic industry is one of those areas that we're trying to help grow. So last year when I went to Israel with JNF, I went to a facility called the Aya Natural facility and saw for myself the people that were working there. And it's a natural cosmetics company, and all of their products are made without any chemicals. They're all made with nutrient-rich ingredients that are found in the Galilee Mountains, which is where Aya Natural is based. All the products are made there by locals, creating jobs in both the product development side as well as the sales and distribution side. So all of their creams, lotions, soaps, and butters are based using one of the most treasured products from the Galilee, which is extra virgin olive oil. So the Aya store is set up as a tourist attraction. So if you are ever in the city of Akko and you visit the JNF Tourist Center, it is one of the small businesses that JNF supports. And so it is on part of the tourist trail that you are able to go and visit if you are looking for a place while you're on vacation. So back to you, Melissa.
Thank you. Okay, so I would recommend checking out Aya's products on Amazon or through our marketplace. There are some really, really wonderful products. One of theirs that I love is the Stretch Mark Cream. So check it out. Okay, so to take off the scrub before we get into the face mask, just take a little piece of cotton, cloth, paper towel, dampen it, and then again, circles. And it'll come off pretty easily. You may have to rinse your face a little bit, but it should come off. Okay, so we learned about honey and how it's naturally antiseptic, and that's going to be in the face mask as well because it's super soothing and hydrating. Then we have bananas. So what I did, and feel free to do this as well, is I heated up my banana and put it in a bowl and then smushed it so that it would be really easy to play with. You can smush it without heating it up, but if you have a microwave right in front of you, go for it. It'll make it even easier. So bananas. Bananas are rich in potassium. Bananas are rich in antioxidants. By the way, whenever someone asks me what's the most important thing I can do for my skin, two things: sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. and antioxidants. Everything that shows age on the skin, whether it's dark spots, wrinkles, whatever it is because there's free radical damage to the cells. To reverse or prevent free radical damage, antioxidants. So when you are buying a skincare product, when you are making a skincare product, ingredients that have antioxidants, in particular, vitamins A, C, and E are the best for free radical damage. Bananas are chock full of vitamin A. So again, not only is it an antioxidant, but vitamin A is the like base of what retinol is. Retinol and retinoids are derivatives of vitamin A, and that speeds up new cells coming to the surface. So when you use a retinol or use a vitamin A product, the natural like cell turnover is increased. So you have brand new, plump, fresh, clear cells coming to the surface, but they are baby cells. So you have to protect them with sunscreen. When you use any kind of vitamin A derivative, you have to use it at night and you have to use sunscreen in the morning. Okay, let's make our mask. So I have smushed up bananas. I'm gonna add my warmed up raw honey. You can just squirt it in. Lovely. And I'm gonna mix that up. And then a teaspoon of lemon juice. Lemon is full of vitamin C, another antioxidant, and citric acid. Lemon brightens the skin. It is a chemical exfoliant, citric acid, and it eats away at the dead skin cells. So the sugar scrub sloughed off what's sitting on the surface. The lemon juice is gonna get all the little dead skin that was in between those cells. Lemon is one of my favorite skincare products. I also love to eat it on everything. Now it's gonna be a little gloopy and a little weird, but that's okay. It's gonna feel so soothing, especially after we just scrubbed our skin. And just slather it on. And while you do that, I am going to pass it over to Sarah Herman, also from Los Angeles, to talk about another skincare company from Israel. Sarah.
Thank you, Melissa. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Herman. I am president of the JNFuture board in Los Angeles. I'm a member of the Arts and Entertainment Task Force, and I'm a High Society donor. Jewish National Fund committed to bringing 500,000 people to live in southern Israel as part of Blueprint Negev. Similarly to what was shared about the North, the cosmetic industry is one area that's been able to grow in southern Israel. While many people think of the Dead Sea as the place in southern Israel to shop for the best cosmetic products, last year on a JNF trip to Israel, I discovered another gem. In Mitzpeh Ramon, we went to Faron, another Israeli natural cosmetics company. Between the breathtaking desert views near this incredible crater, Faron is a cosmetics and soap factory inspired by natural beauty and dedicated to making products that are good for the skin and good for the earth. The unique place is an attraction where you can enjoy the rich variety of natural and organic products. This factory is an economic opportunity for locals, supplying production jobs, sales jobs, and even tour jobs, as people are able to tour the factory to learn about their all-natural process and tour the permacultural experimental garden. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you. That was really fun when we went there. We went there together, and I thought that was such a great day. And it was very cool seeing an all-encompassing store. It's the store, but they make everything right there, fresh by hand, and it was fabulous.
I still have my soap, so yes, it was great.
So a question that came to me was, can we keep these products in the bathroom and to store them, or are they best fresh? So the answer is sort of both. As I mentioned, honey is naturally antiseptic, and lemon is a very strong antioxidant. Like if you pour lemon over an avocado, it won't brown as fast because it's not oxidizing, because lemon's an antioxidant and honey is antibacterial. So these products will last. I would recommend not keeping them in the bathroom though, because the temperature fluctuation in your bathroom when you shower changes so much, it'll exacerbate the product going bad. So I would, the face mask you could probably keep for a couple days. The scrub you could keep for weeks, but I recommend keeping them in the fridge if you can. Okay, so now it's time to remove our mask. You can just wipe this one right off. It's okay if some of the ingredients remain on your skin because they're great for you. So I would just wipe it right off. But if you're feeling like clumpy from the banana, then you can rinse it as well. But I really like how it feels. I think my skin feels really, really clear, fresh, and scrubbed. So I'm happy to take general skincare questions, whether it's about ingredients or products or Israeli trends or any question you might have. Feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat and I would be happy to answer. One thing I will say, oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, with sugar specifically and like the salt, like the physical exfoliants, because I know there's some brands that, you could just buy a scrub in the store, but I've heard that it's not as good for your skin. Like it can cause micro tears and like all this stuff. So do you feel like the sugar and salt is better because it's natural and it kind of like dissolves in the other ingredients? Does that make sense?
So sugar and salt will dissolve better, and the molecules are so tiny that they're not going to cause tears. Guys, they're not going to cause tears in your skin. Now there's like an apricot shell scrub on the market. That is a much bigger molecule and it can tear your skin. So it is important to think about what physical exfoliant you're using, especially depending on how sensitive your skin is. I used to use that apricot scrub for years and years. I don't think that I suffered any damage from it, but I don't know for sure, but I know that when I use sugar or salt, I'm definitely not tearing my skin. That was a really great question. Another question we just had is, what are the steps you go in order for your skincare needs? So think smallest molecule to biggest. After you cleanse, which obviously should be first, and I sometimes do a double cleanse, like I'll use just oil and then I'll wash with like a more like soapy soap, or I'll just use the oil. Then once your skin is clean, smallest molecule. So if you have an essence, if you have some kind of toner, that's gonna go next. Anything that's like very liquidy. After that, if you have a serum, that's gonna go next. Then an oil, then a moisturizer. So thinnest to thickest.
Melissa,
oh yeah, go for it.
Can you just talk about the difference between like physical exfoliation and chemical exfoliation?
And there's a third, enzymatic exfoliation. So
Perfect.
physical exfoliation is like the sugar or salt. It's like what you're physically using to slough off dead skin. Chemical exfoliation are alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. And they go into the pore and like get all the dead yucky stuff out. An example of beta hydroxy is salicylic acid. An example of alpha hydroxys are glycolic, lactic, malic, mandelic. And as the name suggests, they come from really natural sources, like mandelic comes from apple. Glycolic comes from sugar. Lactic comes from milk. So even though they have the word acid in there, they're not scary. And most people can use either of these with the exception of like, if you have an allergy to them, you should test it out. And then if you have an allergy, try a different one. If you are pregnant or nursing, do not use salicylic acid or any beta hydroxys that can be passed through the bloodstream. And then enzymatic. Enzymatic exfoliation is like lemon, papaya. These are active enzymes that like help eat away the dead skin cells. So chemicals going into the pore, physicals like the stuff you can see on the surface. And imagine a brick and mortar building. The sugar and salt is sloughing off the brick. The enzymatic is getting into the mortar, everything in between the cells. So I love to find products that have all three exfoliations. Great question. What's the best method to clean nose pores? Those nose pore strips, I would recommend something with beta hydroxy acid with salicylic acid in there. It's like a vacuum. It goes into the pore and like sucks it out. So that's the best for blackheads for sure. You mentioned honey helps with acne. Do we put a covering on the pimple at night and wash it off in the morning? Yeah, you don't need to put a cover. You can just put it right on, let it dry, and then a couple hours later, wash it off. Which oil do you use to cleanse with? I use coconut oil, but there's a lot of brands like at Sephora that make cleansing oils that are beautiful and not clog pouring. But I like coconut oil because we cook with it a lot. We use it for a million things in the house. So it's super easy to just keep a tub of it in the bathroom and just smush it all over, take my makeup off with it, and be done with it. Did I get everyone's questions?
Divya, do you want to ask your question? It got lost in the chat a little bit, I think.
Sure. I was just asking about oils. Is coconut oil the only one that's not non-comedogenic? Because I thought all oils were pore clogging.
No, so most aren't. Most the molecules are so small that they won't. Like jojoba oil, very, very good for the skin. You know, even if you have oily skin. The best probably though is argan oil. Josie Marin makes argan oil. I love this brand, but she makes two different ones. There's an ultralight one. So in the regular one, let's say there's a molecule. And then in the ultralight one, that molecule is split into 3. So it's so tiny, it's not going to clog the pores. So if that's a major concern of yours, I would look for oils like that. Also tea tree oil, like mix it with a thicker oil and your pores won't get clogged. Someone just said they use grapeseed oil, which is really, really great. Really, really good for your skin. Won't clog the pores, and it leaves such a lovely glow. For removing makeup, oil. I start with my face dry. I put the oil in my hands and I heat it up for a second. And then I just, again, go in circles. The only thing I would say is with eye makeup, you can put a little on your lashes. Then I would wet a cotton round and hold it down for a couple seconds and gently pull away. So you're not pulling at the gentle skin under your eye and you're not pulling at your eyelashes. But same, just use the same oil. What do you recommend? Okay. Oh, brightening under eye circles. Caffeine is really, really good for dark, puffy eyes. I would look for a product that has caffeine in it. You can also sit with green tea bags on your eyes because not only is that very antioxidant, you have all of the antioxidants in green tea, but then the caffeine also helps reduce the darkness and the puffiness. Any other questions before I pass it to Maya? Okay, well, feel free if you think of something else to put it in the chat or to contact me later. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Take it away, Maya.
Thank you, Melissa. That was a lot of fun and very interesting. Can you hear me okay? Yes, great. So hi, I'm Maya Aaron from Miami. I was the founder and president of the Miami JNFuture chapter. Then as I aged out, I joined WFI, Women for Israel, which is JNF's women's group, and I'm currently a Sapphire. I also serve as a president of the Miami Regional Board. Thank you for joining us this evening. In addition to being involved with JNFuture, as Hannah mentioned at the beginning, you can also be involved with Women for Israel. I want you to know that there will come a point in your life when you won't be a JNFuture anymore. But Women for Israel is there for you. Women for Israel is an incredible place to build relationships with like-minded women across generations, find a mentor, and begin building a legacy within JNF. I found my community in Women for Israel, and I encourage you all to join me, whether Women's Alliance with a $360 donation or High Society with an $1,800 donation, both of which can be paid in installments. By being a Women for Israel donor, I'm standing up and saying we women make a difference in the world. We women have the opportunity to directly invest in Israel's future.
Thank you so much, Maya and Sarah and Rachel, Hannah, for participating today. And Melissa, thank you so much for leading. I see a few more things have popped up in the chat. So I know some of you, it's late calling in from the East Coast and you want to hop off. And we thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you Friday for our virtual Shabbat, 5:30 in every time zone, or next Thursday for our Ask Me Anything Israeli wine. It's a great opportunity to learn about wine in Israel in the north and the south. You can order a wine package to do a tasting along with it, or bring whatever you like to drink. Water is, of course, always welcome and encouraged, because that will help your skin glow as well. But for those of you who have more questions or want to stay on and hang out, you're welcome to, add more questions in the chat or unmute yourself to ask.
And eat the face mask for dessert tonight.
I'm a huge skincare fanatic, so if anyone wants to share their favorite skincare products, I'm always looking for new things to try. Tell us what it does too.
I use Face Reality products, which are mostly all natural, and I tend to be prone to breakouts, so that's something my facialist recommended, and I'm obsessed. I use all sorts, like the Mandelic. All of them. I've used all the Mandelic products and antioxidant products. It's great.
I recently started using a tretinoin, which is a retin-A, and I got it from I got a prescription from my dermatologist, and I looked at the label, and it's actually manufactured in Israel.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I realized I misspoke before, and I think I said Mandelic acid comes from apples. If I said that, I lied to you. It's malic acid that comes from apples. Mandelic comes from almonds.
I knew it was. I was like, I remember her saying something, and it had something. She uses something on me that sometimes has like an almond smell to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melissa, we have a question in the chat about how often you should scrub.
That's a very good question. So skincare experts will tell you twice a week. I scrub my face every day, sometimes twice a day. It really depends on how dry your skin is and your skincare needs. If you're more sensitive or more oily, stick to twice a week. If you're drier, amp it up. Make sure you use moisturizer afterwards, for sure though. There's a really, really fabulous scrub. My fiance just reminded me that I should tell you all about it. It's from the brand Ren, which is a natural organic brand, and it's all three exfoliants, enzymatic, chemical, and physical. And it smells like oranges. It's delicious. REN. You can get it at Sephora or, I don't know, Amazon, but I highly recommend it.
Is there a way that some of the things that you have recommended are going to be in the chat or on the replay or of something of that sort, so we can write it down, or somehow of being able to have everybody have this information?
Yes. I don't remember everything that I said, but in terms of the particular face mask and face scrub and why I picked those ingredients, yes.
Okay.
And the call is being recorded, so we can have it. It'll take a little bit of time. We like to put it out on YouTube so it's easily accessible without passwords and things. But once we have that recording, we'd be happy to share it as well.
Perfect.
Melissa, you had recommended before like a stretch mark cream. So I have read that those don't work. So can you talk about like what makes a stretch cream work and why a lot of people say that they don't work?
Because if the stretch marks have been with you for a long time and they are white, nothing will work. There is nothing that you can do short of surgery or maybe laser, but even still, it's not likely. If they are still in like the pink, red, purple timeframe, like it just recently happened, you can lighten and brighten them. So and honey's actually very good for stretch marks too.
Cool.
Good question.
I hear that bio oil works for stretch marks and other skin issues in a sense. So yeah.
Eileen, if you don't need both, then absolutely you can use an oil as a moisturizer. And I will say, for people with oily skin, using an oil, it may seem counterintuitive, but it's actually very helpful. Your oil glands, your sebaceous glands, read the surface of your skin. So when you're not feeding your skin hydration, your glands think dry and they pump out more oil. When you are giving your face enough hydration, that won't happen as much. You can actually stop the amount of oil your skin is producing by feeding it oil.
Melissa, you had mentioned mandelic acid before, the one with almonds. What products is that in? Like if I'm allergic to almonds, for example, and don't want to have any products that have mandelic acid, what do I need to stay away from?
Well, first of all, you should, like if you have a lot of allergies, like I know you do, Sarah, you should always be reading ingredients. However, being allergic to almonds doesn't necessarily mean you'll be allergic to mandelic acid. It's like it's a derivative. So especially if your allergies are digesting. But if you want to be safe, I would just read ingredients and look for mandelic acid. They're mostly, you know, like Dr. Dennis Gross, Ariel, I know you love those, makes those peels. If you see the word peel, there's a chance there could be any kind of alpha hydroxy acid. Mandelic is a gentle one. So often if it's for sensitive skin or more gentle, it might have mandelic acid. So if you're going to buy a peel, and I love peels, just read the ingredients and see which acids are in there.
Melissa, you talked a little bit about different products for different purposes. Could you maybe go through just like a short, quick, like this should be your daily routine, and these are a few products that I would recommend, maybe not even like the brand name, but like a hydration or a moisturizer or something, so that we can, I thought I had a great face routine. I don't feel like I do anymore. And so that way I can know where to start without breaking the bank.
So I would say, guys, please keep your voice down. I would say, sorry, I have a house full of guests. The most important thing you can do during the day is sunscreen. You don't need to wash your face in the morning with soap. I never, ever, ever do, and I don't recommend doing it. If the time that you exfoliate is in the morning before you put on your makeup, that's totally fine. But just to wake up and soap your face will dry it out. So don't do that. Moisturizing. If it's during the day, you can do your SPF and your moisturizer together in one product. If you're going to use the same moisturizer night and day, have a separate SPF. SPF, you have to reapply every 90 minutes anyway. So it's like keeping one in your purse is great. And then I particularly love serums because I think of moisturizer as like my basic hydration and serum as my treatment. So if you're looking for glowing skin, get a serum that talks about brightening, that has something like lemon in it, vitamin C. If your concerns are acne, get a serum that fights breakouts and redness. Serum, treatment, moisturizer for hydration. And no matter how oily your skin is, like I said, you have to hydrate so you can stop the amount of oil your sebaceous glands produce.
Perfect, thank you.
I have a weird question, or maybe it's not weird, but we're all wearing masks now. And so what is the best way to clean your face after wearing a mask? If you have to wear it for a couple hours or whatever, when you take your mask off, your face feels kind of dry. So what's the best way to clean your face after that?
You're muted, Melissa.
I knew I would do it at least once. Water only. Don't use any soap after mask, or you're washing off all of the good stuff that's left over. Like I just take some cotton and I just take off the top layer, and then anything that's left I might like splash water on, and then just pat dry and put your moisturizer.
I meant like a physical mask, like the face mask you have to wear.
Tea tree. Like if you can get a spray with tea tree and just spray right after you take it off, but don't like inhale it. So go and then spray. Any body spray that's for acne or any toner that's for acne is great. Yeah. What a world where we've confused what kind of masks we're wearing.
Melissa, how do you fix redness if your cheeks are constantly red?
I would look for products that are made, like Clinique has a red line. Ren, that brand I was talking about with the scrub, has a very lovely, gentle red. Like there are products that not only combat rosacea, but just like redness that you can get anytime. And then makeup, you want to use something that has like a green tint in it. to counteract the color, like a primer that is green.
Interesting.
So I can actually kind of sort of speak on that because I wouldn't say a burn from my glasses from when I was a child, but I definitely have like on my left cheek, I have like a little circle of redness, and I usually always end up putting blush over it, to be honest. But one of the things I use is the Clinique products, but their Clinique also has a moisture surge product that like really like moisturizes your face. I like it. Sometimes I don't like it. It just depends on my mood, obviously. But It Cosmetics, the lady who created It Cosmetics, she actually suffered from rosacea and other, I guess, like skin issues. And she created foundation and other products that kind of help with the redness. So if that helps, that helps.
Becky, didn't you just buy a moisturizer from It Cosmetics?
I bought it but I brought
I've tried it once.
The Milk vegan moisturizer last week from Sephora. Very good. Very good. Highly recommend.
Lauren, are you speaking to me or to everyone? To me? Yes, I
I
can
feel
do
like
that.
there's been so many you've rattled off, but I can't keep track.
I can send everybody a list of my favorite products, but what might even be more effective is if you email me about your skin and I will recommend products specifically for you.
Oh, I like that even better. Thank you.
She gave me a consultation last week. It was the best thing ever.
She what?
She gave me a consultation last week of my skin, and it was the best thing.
I'm good for that.
I have a question in the chat about
Melissa, you're in business.
We have a question about allergies or sensitive skin. Like what's the gentle options?
So I want to differentiate between allergic and sensitive, right? Someone can be sensitive because they turn red or they get irritated easily. And that's what I would call sensitive skin. It's not what I would call breakout prone skin. So breaking out from something is not an allergy and it's not sensitive. Then there's actual allergy, like you use something and immediately you get like a welt or a rash or you're itching or you can't breathe. There's not a lot you can do for an allergy other than don't use that thing. Find something else. But for sensitive skin, like I said, like if you want to scrub, maybe start with an enzymatic, like a papaya, if you want to exfoliate. And if you're doing well, then add in a sugar or a salt and go from there. It totally depends on what causes your sensitivity. So if you specifically have an allergy or you specifically get sensitive in a certain way, Steph gave my email there. Send me an email and I'll help you find the thing that won't cause that.
Other questions?
So again, my email's here, masarch@jnf.org,
which
will change somewhat soon.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Soon enough, my email address will be Wittenberg, but for now it's asarch, masarch@jnf.org. Send me any skincare questions that you have, any product recommendations you need. I love doing it. I left it professionally to be with all of you, but I'm still happy to do it anytime. It's such a fun thing to talk about and to stay educated in. I can also recommend books for ingredients, and it's a really fun world once you get into it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Melissa, for your time, especially while you have some family there with you. We appreciate you taking time away from them with us to talk us through how to be as smooth and clean and crisp as we can. And again, thank you all for spending your evenings. I know it's for some of you very late, and we just really appreciate the opportunity to be with you, learn some about JNF's work in the North and the South, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. So thank you guys. Thank you, gals.
Thanks, Melissa.
Make sure to look at your skin closely in the mirror if you use any of the products. Like, I look smooth. You will too. I look forward to connecting with you all even more.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.